I don't know why I'm getting so emotional and we haven't even gotten into what today's video is about. Oh my God. I want to talk about what happens when you are really excited about the prospect of a possible relationship, or really excited about dating someone, getting to know someone, and then it comes to an end. I want to talk about the sadness that can come up, the anger, the frustration. And I also want to talk about the shame that you can feel, because how could you have done it again? How could you have gotten so excited about someone only for it to fall apart before it even got started, really? And I want to talk about what happens when it does fall apart, when it does end, and how you can pick up the pieces and move along and still have hope and love, and still really understand that you have always been and always will be worthy of the love that you want to receive in this world. So yeah, I'm gonna try not to ramble. I have an outline for this conversation so I don't ramble, but I really want to just kind of sit and have more of like a raw an open conversation. I think I'm going to title this video something like, "You're not stupid for getting excited," because that is the general point that I want to land on today. And that is what I want you to take away from this entire video. If you literally do not listen to anything else and don't take anything else away from this video, I want you to understand that you were never stupid. You will never be stupid for ever getting excited about a person or the possibility of a budding relationship. Because the fact that you're even getting excited, the fact that you're even hopeful, the fact that you're even thinking about the possibility of something happening shows that you are open and receptive to love. It shows that you're a human being who just wants and craves connection, and there is literally nothing wrong with that. I don't think the solution is or ever will be to close yourself off to love, no matter how much you get hurt, no matter how painful it can be to go through an experience where you get excited and that excitement ends in some way because the person doesn't follow through for you, or because the compatibility isn't there, because whatever, it just doesn't work out for whatever reason. I don't ever think the solution is to close yourself off to love. I talked about this in my "You're not finding love because you're jaded" video. And my whole point in that video was that a lot of us close ourselves off to pain, and in doing so, we close ourselves off to the possibility of love, because the two of these things coexist. If you are going to go into life with a desire to connect with people, with a desire to find romantic, platonic, familial love, you're always going to be exposed to the possibility of getting hurt, because to go into a relationship of any sort is to risk that relationship ending, and the relationship is always going to end. Now, whether it ends in a breakup, whether it ends in someone passing away, whether it ends in you guys drifting apart, that's not for me to tell, and a lot of times you're not going to know that either until the end has come. But we have to understand that the possibility of love can only exist if the possibility of pain is there as well. We need more excitement. We need more people that are opening their hearts up to love and not being jaded. We need more people that are really wearing their hearts on their sleeves, even knowing that there are people out there that will probably hurt them. And again, this is not about being naive. This is not about playing yourself, or not about being smart in how you approach dating and courtship, but this is about not letting the rough patches of the world, not letting the people who are just angry and bitter and cynical out here turn you into someone that doesn't believe in the possibility of love. I think it's really important to reframe your disappointment and to reframe your understanding of what has happened with the relationship coming to an end. This is easier said than done. And this is also an ongoing process, because when a possible relationship or a relationship has ended and you are in the midst of processing the sadness, the loss of all the future possibilities, the future adventures that you were anticipating having with this person, when you're grieving that, you don't want to sit there and be like, oh, well, this is for the best. This just opens up room for me to find the person that is aligned for me. But that is actually the truth. There are times where I personally, when I'm kind of going through this sort of grieving process, I have to give myself the time and the space to grieve, and the time and the space to be angry, and the time and the space to be frustrated. But then I also have to look at the facts and be like, okay, this person left my life because they weren't supposed to be here. They didn't want to be here. And there's someone who is going to come in that does want to be here, that literally will look at me and look at my entire energy and aura, look at everything that I bring to the table as a partner, as a human being, and say, oh my God, I am so blessed to be in the presence of this person. And I'll feel the same about them. And if the person that ended things with you, or the person that you had to end things with, if they weren't on that level with you and you weren't on that level with them, having that relationship end only opens up space for someone that is more aligned for you to come in. It's also really important to remember that you didn't fail. This wasn't failure. This isn't something to be embarrassed about or ashamed of, because that's also where my mind tends to go. I feel like I tend to get really just sad, not only for the possibility of everything that I imagine with this person sort of blowing up and no longer existing, but I also feel this sense of failure because, to be honest with you, when you've been single for a really long time and you have been putting yourself out there and you feel like you're doing all the things right, which I know there's no truly right or wrong way to approach anything. People meet people in the craziest of ways, and there's never a one size fits all solution to how to meet the love of your life. But when you feel like you're doing all the things and putting yourself out there and it just keeps not working, obviously you have to kind of look inward, right? And you got to kind of examine what's going on with you. And I remember at one point that led me to going to therapy and just being like, tell me what's wrong with me. Tell me what I'm doing. Help me. And I did go to therapy for a while, and that was like super helpful in just processing emotions and understanding myself on a deeper level and some of the patterns that I was recreating. But I also think that it's really important to recognize that you didn't fail. Just because that relationship didn't work out in the way that you wanted it to, in the way that you anticipated it working out, it doesn't mean that there's something inherently wrong with you. Even if there are patterns that you are recreating, things that you were doing to attract individuals that maybe aren't the best aligned for you, you're always going to be learning lessons. And if you're the type of person that's able to take those lessons, integrate them, and shift your behavior moving forward, you are going to continue to attract people that are more aligned for whatever level you're shifting to. Do you feel me? So it's never a failure, right? Isn't there a quote like that? It's like, it's never a failure. It's always a lesson. It sounds so cliche and it's so annoying because I for one hate when people are like, this is a learning lesson when I'm going through something, because it's like, I'm really sad right now. I don't want to hear that this is a learning lesson. So I don't know, maybe you don't want to hear that from me, but it is, that's kind of where I am in my processing right now, is kind of like, okay, this sucks, but I'm not a failure. I'm not a bad person. I didn't do anything wrong. This happened. This played out exactly as it was supposed to play out. And it's so unfortunate that it ended in a situation where I feel pain and I feel hurt and I feel blindsided, because I feel like that's not fair. But there's something here that is allowing me to expand. There's something here that is allowing me to also connect with like other people, because now I'm able to like create this video and share and connect with you. And I feel like I'm rambling, but I hope that all makes sense. I talk about timing a lot because I truly, truly, truly believe in divine timing to the absolute fullest. And it is so irritating sometimes. Like, it's so irritating and frustrating sometimes, because when you believe in divine timing, if you truly believe in divine timing, you're also believing that you don't have control over everything. And I mentioned this before, but there are certain people that talk about like manifestation and creating a life that you want and love and all the things like that. talking about it from this perspective of like, you have control over all the things. So if something is going wrong, that means you're doing something wrong. I don't believe that, because I truly believe that I can do all of the things, but at the end of the day, if it is not my time to have a certain experience, if it is not my time, if I still have to learn a certain lesson, if the other parties and opportunities that are involved in whatever I'm calling in need to align in a certain way before they can come to me, like, no matter how much I force it, no matter what I do, it's not going to happen before it's time. And I feel like when you really believe in divine timing to its core, it releases a bit of burden from you, because you're no longer sitting there like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? Like, what am I doing wrong? You can start to like lean on divine timing and be like, you know what? It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. And this is not about being passive and saying, I'm not going to take action, because part of it is taking action, right? You take action, things happen, you get the ball rolling. But again, things are not going to fully align in certain ways until it is time. But I do believe your action plays a role in that. When it doesn't work out with someone and you're wondering like, when is it going to work out with someone? Why does it keep not happening for me when it feels like it's happening for everyone else? That's when I have to truly just like lean on my belief in divine timing. And I don't even know why I'm getting emotional talking about this, but God, like I have to just like really lean on my belief in divine timing, because I feel like that is the only thing. Okay, y'all, I'm clearly in a very emotional space today. No, but like literally that is the only thing, honestly, sometimes the only thing that keeps hope alive for me. And I feel like you cannot lose hope, especially when we're talking about like manifestation and we're talking about love. Like if you lose hope, like there's nothing left. You know what I mean? Like if you truly stop believing that something is for you, if you truly stop believing that you can ever have the relationship that you want, like you're not gonna have it. Like belief is so important. And so understanding that you're doing everything that you can, and maybe this time it didn't work out, but like when it really is the time for you, it's gonna work out. And I wish I could tell y'all what time that was or time that will be. And I wish I could tell myself what time it would be for me too, honestly. Like there's this movie, I forget the name of it, but like it was this movie where people either had like they had watches or they had like tattoos or something that told them exactly when they were gonna meet their soulmate. And I was like, honestly, we're sitting here focused on ChatGPT when we should really be focused on that type of technology, because I feel like that would be helpful. Okay, put Bumble and Hinge and Tinder out of business and get me a little soulmate clock in my wrist, and I'd pay for it. I would. Releasing the burden of feeling like you have to make it happen is one of the best things that you can do, because you don't have to make it all happen. It's not just you. You're not working by yourself here. Like release the need to be hyper independent in your own love life and just lean on your faith in divine timing. I think this is always a good moment to lean back into your practices around self-love, your practices that revolve around your community. Like you should never lose that in, you know, when you're dating someone anyways. But I do feel like, you know, especially going into the colder months, at least here in North America, going into the colder months, the colder seasons, the time of coziness, the time of the holidays, I'm really placing a lot of emphasis on what it looks like to cultivate community and love and prosperity and abundance in many different ways in my particular home and environment. Because I feel like when you are so truly hyper focused on yourself and your goals and your friends and the things that you love, you know, I do believe when people say you find the person when you're not looking, I also think you can find the person when you are looking too. But I feel like all of that boils down to you find the person when it's your time to find the person. And so if I sat here and I told you, you will meet your husband or you'll meet your wife or your long-term partner in 237 days, and you knew you were going to meet them in 237 days on the dot, what would you do in the meantime, right? I'm sure you wouldn't just be sad at home being sad about this who like messed things up with you. You would be planting in your garden. You would be going to your pickleball classes. You would be going to your sewing classes. You would be, rearranging your furniture. You'd be doing whatever you want because you would be secure in the knowing that your person is out there and they're gonna be meeting you in 237 days. So for some of you watching, 237 days is the number. And if that's you and you come back and tell me in 237 days if you meet your husband or your partner. I would love to know. But for the rest of us, it might not be 237. It might be 135. It might be 684. It might be 52. But it literally doesn't matter. The whole point is that you releasing the burden of understanding the timing of when you meet them is all about you leaning into the belief that when it's the time for you to meet them, you will. Just because that situation with the person ended and you got really excited and you told your friends about them and you told your family about them and you told your dog about them and it didn't work out, doesn't mean that you are not worthy of love. It doesn't mean that you're never going to call in the love that you want. And I feel like that is a very sinister mindset that we can get into. And I feel like it used to be really easy for me to kind of go into that mindset. It was very much a victim mindset though. Like if something doesn't work out and your immediate thought is, oh, well, it's never gonna work out for me. That is a victim mindset. That is scarcity mindset. And I know how easy it is to slip into that because when you slip into victim and scarcity mindset, it's almost kind of it's kind of comforting in a way because if you feel like, oh, well, I'm the victim, then it almost feels like you don't have to take responsibility for anything. It kind of feels like you can just sit and pity and wallow. And I don't know, even though it's a really sad place to be, it in some ways feels comfortable to be there. But the best course of action is to go the opposite way. It's to challenge that belief. It's to say, no, there is someone out there for me. No, this didn't work out with this person because there is someone better. Now I have all this free time to do X, Y, and Z. Now I can really focus on my cilantro plants and my basil plants because I want to make homemade pesto. You can really just turn it into a thing where you're focused on the abundance. You're focused on the fact that there's so much love around you. I watch Haley Comment's weekly astrology videos. Haley Comment is an astrologer on YouTube. I love her. She's amazing. I took her self-care astrology course. It is so awesome. So if you're interested in astrology and you want to learn more, I would highly recommend. But she, in one of her recent videos, was talking about how when we are so enamored by someone, right, in a relationship, romantic relationship, I'll speak on specifically, right? When you are in this place where you really like someone and you're so enamored by them, a lot of times when things end, if not all the time, when things end, you feel this sense of pain and grief and loss because you feel like you won't get to experience that love, that feeling of connection without that person. And I know we are human beings. And as I said before, we need connection. We need community. We need having other people around us. But I also want you to know that, and again, this is what Haley said in her video as well, is that other person, what you experience with them, that sense of love, that sense of beauty, that sense of enamorment, that joy, that is simply they're reflecting back to you what it is you're putting out. And so when you're in a season where you're single and you want that connection and you want, that love, I would say if you're struggling with dating or if, you're kind of attempting to release the timeline of dating and when you're going to find your person, focus on community, focus on your friends, but also focus on moments where you can reflect back to yourself your own love and your own joy. It literally is what people talk about when they say romanticizing your life. We are in Venus and Libra season right now, and Venus rules over Taurus and Libra, and Venus is all about romanticizing your life. So where can you do that? Where can you take yourself out to the coffee shop on Saturday mornings and listen to a little jazz or have a little cute little latte or go on some walks or just do things for yourself with yourself or do things with friends? I feel like this is getting super long because I have a tendency to be chatty, but I also feel like, you know what, these are giving little podcast episodes. So hopefully you can just put them on and listen to them while you're in the shower, making your lunch, making your dinner, doing work. And you can just have me in a little corner on your little iPad or your TV or your phone or whatever as you're getting some work done, and we can just chat. You are not stupid for getting excited. In fact, it just means that your heart is open and you're open to receiving. And it just happens to be that the possibility of getting hurt is present when your heart is open to receiving. And it's just the sucky truth of it. And so if you are in pain or feeling pain, or you're going through a breakup, or you're navigating an ending to a connection that you really hoped would be something more, I want to send you the biggest hug, because I know how sucky it is, and I know that it just hurts. So yeah, but I hope this video was helpful in some way. Hopefully something I said resonated and hit home for you. Give this video a thumbs up as per usual. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts, and yeah, I'll be back with the videos. I was on a little break. I went home to visit my parents in Boston, and I visited a friend in Florida for a little bit, but now I am back, and videos will be coming. So yeah, I also really quickly wanted to take a minute to shout out Black Girl Vitamins. They actually sent me a 2-month supply of their sea moss vitamins. So this is their natural sea moss vitamin, and this one includes organic Irish moss, organic bladderwrack, organic burdock, and bioperine, which is a black pepper extract. I'm super excited about this because my parents like make this sea moss drink, and I know that sea moss has so many amazing benefits for you, and I am not a fan of like boiling the sea moss and making the drink. It actually makes your house smell like the ocean, which if you're into that, you're into that, but I personally am not. So these sea moss vitamins are about to be an amazing game changer for me, because I can literally get the benefits of sea moss without actually having to boil sea moss in my home. So if you are looking for vitamins, whether it's sea moss like myself, or any other vitamins that you feel like you might be deficient in, or just want to try something new and also want to support a Black owned company, go ahead and check out the link down below. It's going to give you 20% off your order at blackgirlvitamins.co. Sea moss contains 92 essential minerals to our bodies, including magnesium, zinc, calcium, phosphorus, iron, vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, and potassium. I know that I love to take magnesium, zinc, and iron for some of my deficiencies and also things that I struggle with. So it's also really good to know that these literally have all of that in there, in addition to the other benefits that sea moss offers. So yeah, thank you again to Black Girl Vitamins. I'm super excited. I plan to either do like maybe a vlog or in another video update you guys on how I'm doing with my sea moss, because I want to incorporate this for a little bit. I love to try out supplements for at least like a couple of weeks, if not a full month, to see what benefits I'm experiencing. So I'm glad I have a 2-month supply of this. But I want to mention that again because I want to thank them so much for sending over the sea moss vitamins. I will have the link down below if you guys want to check them out. Highly recommend. They have a ton of other vitamins besides the sea moss, and you will get 20% off of your order, which I think is a generous percentage off of an order. Anyways, my loves, thank you again for watching this video. Please be sure to share it with someone who may be struggling with this, and also give this video a thumbs up, comment. Let me know what you want to see now that I am back and I am stationed in Dallas until the rest of the year, so I will have time to film and get some videos out for you guys. But thank you again for supporting my channel, for supporting me, and I'm sending you all hugs. Bye.